Hey there friends, it's Lauren from Rustic Honey and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would bring you along on our first week back to school. Things have gone fairly smoothly and I feel like we're starting to find our rhythm. This video will be a little bit of a mashup of a bunch of different things we did this week. I hope you'll join me for the mess and maybe we can talk a little bit more about finding our rhythm. To get the school week started off right, I have to go through my pantry and my refrigerator and all the things to see what we have on hand for a good meal plan. I haven't done this probably all summer. I've just kind of been working throughout my kitchen. I did a lot of cooking this summer to feed these kids, but we just have little remnants of things. So what I do first is I go through and I write down all of the things that we have. And then whenever I find something that needs to get used up, I'll put a star next to it so that it can help to inspire what we're going to eat this week. And then as you saw there in that clip, I put the things together for s'mores. We still had that left over from one of our trips we took this summer. So I put that in a special place in the back of the cabinet, hoping that my kids won't find it before we can get a good bonfire going on maybe this weekend. And then at the bottom here, I have a few things that have just been sitting here for a while and I want to use up those things this week in our meal plan with a few of the proteins from the freezer. So I just always find that so helpful to write down what you have and then put a star next to the things you really want to use up and then let that kind of inspire you on what to make. Now, I had to laugh as I sit down and put this video together because I realize how much I talk out loud to myself, but how much I love having a baby with me because then I don't fully look like a crazy person. We're just, having a little brainstorming baby chat here on what's in the pantry and what we can make for dinner. So basically on a piece of paper on one half, I put what we have. And then I put a list of ideas for meals that are like of most of the ingredients that we already have. So like meals I see coming together. Then on the back side of that paper, I will start to put my grocery list because inevitably there's already things that are on that list that are coming to mind as I'm going through the pantry. Like I'm out of flour or milk or whatever it may be. So I'll start to write those on the backside. And then as I make my meal plan, I'll cross off the items that I know I will be using up that week. Just find that when I meal plan this way, I waste so much less food and I save so much more money at the grocery store putting my meals together for the week. And it saves me so much headspace later on when I don't know what's for dinner. It's already on a list. I don't follow like a really rigid schedule and like Monday has to be this, Tuesday has to be this. I kind of just wake up the morning of and decide, okay, what's going on tonight? This one sounds the best to me, and that's what I'm going to do. So I kind of leave it a little bit flexible, but it helps so much. This portion of today's video should probably be titled, Chaos Has Left the Building. No, I'm just kidding. It's kind of bittersweet how quiet it is around here. I miss my kids when they go back to school, of course, but I also do enjoy the quiet. It's funny because the first day they were gone, I heard this humming sound and I was like, what is that sound? And I realized it was our air conditioner upstairs, but I hadn't heard that noise from downstairs because typically our house is so loud with everyone in it. So that gave me a good laugh this week. This particular morning, Ruth took her morning nap like a champ, and I was able to get a little bit of work done on the back porch. I feel like every day this week has been a little bit different. We've had to run some more errands than usual, and we've just been trying to play catch up. I told a friend that I felt like there's many check engine lights in my in my life right now. I feel like sometimes my body has a check engine light, like I need more sleep and healthier food, and then my business has a check engine light and I need to take care of some emails, and there's just lots of, check engine lights, and it's hard to decide sometimes which ones to tackle first. So we're trying to play catch up a little bit this week, but I do feel better here at the end of the week that we are finding a rhythm, and I think even Ruth has gotten a little bit more used to the quiet. The first couple days the kids were at school, I feel like she was a little bit more needy than usual. She's usually my laid back baby, but she really wanted mommy the first 2 days of school, and she wanted to nap on my lap, which I don't mind. Now, as a mom of 4, I know how precious this time is and how fast this first year will go by. So I'm really trying to soak that up for all it's worth and take in all of those cuddles while I can. That definitely helps me get back into the rhythm is resetting my home. And I was tempted to clean every corner of this house before this video, but I'm just showing you real life. You can see my mudroom is in complete shambles again with all the shoes on the floor, but we have errands to run and we've got to get out the door. Another check engine light here is my car. It is filthy because it has turned dry here, but I went ahead and spent a few bucks to just rinse off the car because I couldn't see out of the windshield, even though we're headed right back down the gravel road. So we ran our errands and I'm getting a little bit of a late lunch here. This is one of the days you can see that I was holding Ruth a lot. So I had a late lunch of leftovers. We had leftover meatballs and rice from the night before. I added a little bit of what was left of the veggies and some yum yum sauce. It's a great combination. How was your first day?
Good.
Good?
Was a girl.
Reese has done really well at preschool this week. I was curious how it would go. She has been so excited, and Dan and I were worried that she would almost be let down because she had such high hopes for what preschool would be, but so far, so good. A part of getting back into our rhythm during the school year is for the kids to come home and get washed up, have a snack, and then they need to go do their chores around the farm before they can do anything else as far as like TV time, or if they want to play video games, they need to get their chores done first so that we don't have to worry about it. Because there's a lot of evenings that we have to do that and then change our clothes and head out to sports. We try to keep our schedule as minimal as possible, but we're also a very modern family and we do the sporting things and we run out to the extracurriculars all the time. So as intentional as I am about keeping our schedule simple, we are still very busy. Getting back to those ingredients that I had planned on using up earlier this week, I had all of these Italian breadcrumbs that needed to get used up. So I grabbed some of the chicken we just recently got from the butcher, and we are making some chicken parm for dinner tonight. I am not following any particular recipe, and in fact, this probably isn't even a recipe that I'll share down below, but all I'm doing is slicing my chicken breasts a little bit more thinly so that they cook evenly, and I am going to coat them in an egg wash, which is just a couple eggs that I whisk together with some salt, pepper, and I think garlic seasoning, and then I'm frying those in a pan with avocado oil, and then putting them with my marinara, which I will link back to the recipe. When we canned our marinara, I had some left in the refrigerator, so I wanted to make sure to use that up in a timely manner so that we don't waste any of that hard work that we did in making that from the garden this summer. And now here I am holding Sweet Ruth again. She was throwing a fit during dinner time this evening. I guess it was just the witching hour. I don't know. But luckily my husband came home in the middle of this and we were able to divide and conquer a little bit between everyone. Now, when the chicken cooked in my cast iron skillet just to fry up those edges, it wasn't done in the middle. So I stuck that in the oven for about 20 minutes just to make sure that that chicken was cooked through. And then I added the rest of the sauce on top and some mozzarella because I was out of parm. So this isn't even exactly chicken parm, but we're just making do with what we have. And you know what? It was delicious and that's what works. So again, just use up what you have because it saves you so much money on groceries. If you guys would like to see a video on how to save more money on groceries and meal planning and all of the things, maybe we can intertwine that with the recipe binder we had talked about before too. Let me know in the comments below. I love to know what you guys would like to see on this channel, and I hope to be more intentional about getting those things out this fall. Now, another quick reset that I need to tackle is my car, because in this season we will be spending a lot more time in Mama's vehicle, running to all the sports and activities. And I feel like if my car looks crazy in the morning when I first get in it to take the kids to school, it probably doesn't set me up very well for the rest of the day. So I'm cleaning out my console here, and I'm laughing because I have all these CDs in here. My car's old enough, I still have a CD player in it. I have to keep our collection of Christmas CDs because you never know, that season's going to come around. Tape measure has to stay too because you never know when I'm going to be at the antique mall or the thrift store and need to measure some furniture. So I'm setting myself up here with some diapers and wipes and another fresh onesie because you never know. Sometimes I run out the door and I forget something in the diaper bag. So I want to make sure that that's in here and ready to go. Also, some things that my kids like their gum and their mints. And I want to get a little travel hairbrush because there are going to be times when I need to do my daughter's hair in the car. So I'm using that little school box to get that organized too and wipe everything down. And that has made things run a lot smoother this week. Their part of the rhythm is to check the kids' backpacks every night and get their folders put back in there for the next day. This nook in our kitchen has been many different things, but I'm going to get back to this later in the video too, so stick with me. But we have some projects in mind for this area in our house, but it's going to be, I'm afraid, a bigger project than I was opting in for. So I had my husband hang those hooks there to at least get us started and have some organization in the meantime. All right, moving into my office, which again is another room in my house that needs some extra attention, but we are getting there slowly but surely. We're going to get into our rhythm here this week. I was looking for some extra worksheets for my kids because I think I've mentioned this before, but we have 4-day school weeks here. And so on Mondays when they're at home with me, I really like to review things with them or work on things that they need to be working on or could use a little bit of extra help with. So I am putting a couple links here in the description box of a couple cool websites that I used. One of them being printables.com, and they are completely free. Both of these are free, but it's unlimited on printables, which I love. So I'm going to link those down below if you're interested in any worksheets for your kids or just handy printables. Now, one space that I really need to organize before we end this week is our toothbrush system. Don't really know why, but the last few weeks my kids have been bouncing around from bathroom to bathroom, brushing their teeth in random, well, not random places, but random bathrooms, and then leaving their mess afterwards. And so I really want to create a nice home for each of them so that they know where their toothbrush and toothpaste is, and there's no more confusion about how to clean up after themselves and put everything away. So I found these little containers at Dollar General for $2 a piece. They're really nice acrylic type bins. They're the heftier plastic ones. So I was very happy with the quality on those. And I may have to go back this weekend and use my coupon for $5 off $25 and just get a lot more of those bins because they had a really nice selection at our local store. Not sponsored in any way. I just live in an area where Dollar General is close, and that was something I was surprised to find there. Now we have this old medicine cabinet in what I feel like will be the boys' bathroom as they get older. So I'm trying to begin with the end in mind here on where I want them getting ready in the morning. And as you probably saw, there was a lot of wasted space in this cabinet that I feel like we could utilize a lot better for my 2 sons and my husband. So I'm going to move this shelf down so that I can create a little area for my husband's shaving things. And then my youngest loves to do his hair, so I got to get his comb in there. And then I found these little notes that my husband's so sweet. He keeps these little notes from our kids. These are from my oldest when he was younger. So I'm actually going to take these today and get the laminator out because they're so cute and they have little messages on them that I know Ren will enjoy too. So I'm going to laminate those so that they don't get wet and ruined with the toothbrushes and things inside the cabinet. And while I'm at it, I am also going to make a name tag for each of these bins so that the kids kind of can take ownership of their own bin and have what they need at hand. In the past, when organizing, I often would opt out of putting labels on things because I felt like it was a little bit more aesthetically pleasing when things were just in pretty baskets with no labels. But the maybe it's the stage of life I'm in now with more people in my family. They need to know where things go. And it's so helpful, not only to them, but also to my brain these days to already just be able to look at something and it has a name on it and it's so much easier to put things away. So I'm a big fan of labels now. And today I used canva.com to create their names. That website is free and would make great labels. There's lots of different templates you can use if you've never been on that website before. Definitely check it out. I made mine very basic, simple. I really like black and white, as you can see in my house. A lot of times I like to keep things very simple and clean, but you could also do colors, or if your kids are too young to maybe read their name, you could do pictures or something they're interested in on those labels. And then of course, lamination is obviously optional, but for something like toothbrushes, I felt like it was important so that we're not getting these tags wet right away. I also printed out a little bit of an affirmation for my boys and my husband. For as long as I can remember, my husband has had this Bible verse written on a note card in the back of the medicine cabinet, and I felt like something fresh and new in his little bin would remind him to read that again if for some reason he has looked over it, which I know if it had been hanging in my medicine cabinet that long, I would have missed it. I also made a simple one for my boys because I think words are really important, and especially the words that we tell ourselves. So something that says, I am strong, I am smart, and I am kind, to me would set them up for a really good day at school. To me, this space looks so much better, but mostly because it's not only functional, but it also means something. Now I should definitely get back to clean that mirror. Well, I tell you what, friends, finding your rhythm does not mean that the chores are all through and everything's finished for the week. We have a lot yet to catch up on, quote unquote, but I'm excited for this new year and this new season and this new rhythm. Let me know in the comments below if you'd enjoyed this video today and what videos you would like to see this fall. I have so many creative ideas coming down the pipeline and I can't wait to share them with you. Thank you so much for joining me today.